All right, guys, what's up? Evan Aldo here. If you like the content, smash the like button because we get into a lot of really good stuff on this channel, and check out the Discord down below. So basically, the first thing we're looking at here on, kind of the macro on Bitcoin. Look at this 2-week money flow crossover from red to green. I mean, this was confirmed a little while ago now, maybe like 3-4 days ago now. And, last time we did that, we went parabolic. Time before, we went upward, consolidated, took some time. But I think, things have looked a little bit more like 2013 in some ways. First peak in April, second peak in November, similar to 2021, those two same months. And then, I mean, the bottom was okay. The bottom was a little bit later. It was January instead of the previous November. But when we look at this, I would kind of compare what could possibly happen here is more like this. See, we're getting our jump up, similar to that wick up. Maybe we're in for some more bullish consolidation kind of, and then we gradually, kind of just move forward here. I don't think you're going to go crazy parabolic, and end the bull run. I mean, just let's see what would happen if we were to, do something like that. I mean, your bull run would be over and a little early. Your bull run would be over a little bit early if that did happen, which would be kind of wild. But we'll see what happens here. And ultimately, things in the macro still very bullish. When we move down to the weekly, money flow is still pretty strong here. You got that kind of, potentially you could get a bearish div, but that could take time. That could take time here, and that may not happen until 39K or 40K. And speaking about those numbers, the big place that I'm looking at right here is this pocket around 39.5, 39 to 39.5. So yeah, and then when you look at the 2-day, this looks like for some continuation upward. Continuation daily too, potential continuation. Nothing screams at me so far that we're that we've completely topped out so far. Nothing screams to me that we're topping out just yet. You got a kind of bear div printing on the 8-hour. That's a distant bear div. I don't think it's anything too bad, but it may signal kind of what's already happened. We already kind of maybe had that play out. Not this play out, but we already kind of saw our drop down. You hit that bottom there, 35.7. Now you could be home free a little bit to kind of come up a little bit more. Some of the altcoins got hit pretty hard, but they have recovered to a certain extent too. So that could be a little scare. And then now we're kind of potentially coming up a little bit more. And the question here is, do we hit this line 37.4 before we hit this line 36.2? My guess here is you're probably going to hit the higher one. You're probably going to hit the higher one before the lower one. Those are some of the toughest questions to answer sometimes, but that's what always fun to kind of look at those things. So that's ultimately what I'm looking at in Bitcoin. I mean, I do think that this, we're not seeing any signs of this rally stopping just yet. I do think potentially that 39 to 39K all the way potentially up to, the last thing I want to show you here is the apologies if this chart is a little messy here, but just wanted to show you the a lot of spiral lines. Wanted to show you this pocket right here that we're kind of hitting. We seem to be acting like support rather than resistance. The next one is going to be at 42, so that's also a big spiral line too, 42K, which would be, let's see here, potentially a 15% increase. I mean, a potential kind of long setup or something here. Let's see. You probably could 1.4 to, might not be a terrible idea here. Especially if you're trying to bet that we're in you could go real tight if you're trying to bet we're going to keep this area, but that's going to be where it starts to get risky. I probably wouldn't go worse than like a 2-2, wouldn't go worse than here for the kind of the trade setup. But that's ultimately what I'm looking at. If you guys want more trade setups and all that, check out the Aldo Empire VIP Discord. Me and 3 other pro analysts doing a lot of really good stuff there, a lot of exclusive analysis. Obviously, we're not right 100% of the time, but it's a really good community. Check it out. We got some really good people in there. So yeah, ultimately, I wanted to also show you guys, let's look at Ethereum. I wanted to show you guys, look at Ethereum because that's been blasting off a little bit. And I wanted to look at, there's a lot we could look at here, but I want to look at ETH, like ETH Bitcoin as well. Ultimately, you might be seeing this green dot in the 2-week with the money flow starting to come up here. And yeah, it's you could continue forward. I mean, this is could potentially be where Ethereum bottoms against Bitcoin. I don't know though. You know, you could break lower. You absolutely could break lower here. But for now, until proven otherwise, I do think because when you look at where Ethereum bottomed against Bitcoin last time, September of 2019, 4-year cycle, it would be later in 2023. Where are we now? We're late in 2023. Would make sense here. Be careful with it though. But you're getting a big pump up now for Ethereum now. Basically right now, like Bitcoin, nothing's looking too bad here. Money flow is still decent on a lot of these time frames. You are hitting the high for the year. You are hitting the high for the year. Where is it? Right here. The April high around 2K. As of right now, it looks like we could potentially break higher. Your next significant level is, I think there's a trend line that Raz LSU, I think from the Discord mentioned around 22.5. That's a place where I'm going to like take some more profits on my Ethereum long. But after that, 2400, this is a big fib level. There's not too much. I mean, these wicks downward, 23, 2400, you might be able to get there. You might be able to get there here. So just keep that in mind. It is an exciting time, very exciting time for crypto. I mean, this would be the place right here would be, I mean, this could be a potential kind of, not really a bear div, but I mean, you have money flow starting to come out here. I mean, it is a major point. You probably could sneak in a little, if you're a big bear, you probably could sneak in a little scalp or something here potentially. I don't know if I would do it though, maybe on some of these money flow crossovers, but I don't know. There's nothing yet screams to me to short just yet. So yeah, so it does kind of looks like until proven otherwise here, we got some continuation forward. Solana we could look at. This is another one hitting a major point, hitting the 2022 high. This one's interesting. CBZ had a really good Solana long. I've actually been looking to potentially try to short this off of this level because it's such a huge freaking level here. But so far, man, you did come down. It was looking good, but now you're pumping right back up. I mean, this environment, we've just been so bullish. It's just been, it's just been so bullish. It looks like that these green dots are just gonna invalidate the bear divs that we had here, and we could just break above the $50, if not more here. So that's what we got to kind of keep in mind here. Cap to our size on the weekly, but I think it could be a little bit longer before they, play out. I mean, can this go up to $75? There's not much in between where we are and $75. Oh man, that would be wild. I mean, you do have this fib level 57, and then after that, that's 75. So 57 area, I guess. Yeah, price did stick there a little bit historically, I guess. It's not that big. I'd say other than the fib level, there's not much really there. So keep that in mind. Ultimately, yeah, that's the main things I wanted to talk to you guys about today. AVAX, we talked about it yet. I think we talked about it yesterday. Hitting this point, a lot of stuff is hitting big points, but we're not seeing too many bearish signs just yet. Money flow is still good on a lot of these time frames. There are a good number of signals of continuation here. I'm not seeing anything too bad just yet. Potentially you could $16, get to $16 there. ApeCoin, you had your drop down this morning, a little fear for yourself. It looks like that hammer candle is going to play out well. Just bring us up potentially to 225 here. So Ape is running up. I think the NFTs are running up a little bit too. That trigger wave right there is a little bit worrisome on the 3-day though, but I kind of feel like we might be okay. I mean, there's always going to be a bearish case here. The last thing I wanted to look at, I'm curious about right now, is the DXY. So looking overall kind of bearish on the weekly. We didn't quite hit our technical target for this breakout, this upward breakout of this wedge here. And now you're kind of coming down. Your trigger wave kind of could have played out in the monthly now. It's starting to come down there. So it kind of looks like a little bit conflicting here. I mean, now you're getting the gap to our size coming up on the daily, showing a little bit of strength there. Your Dixie's been a little bit, money flow coming up there. Your Dixie's been a little bit conflicting here. Your Dixie's been a little bit hard to read. Kind of looking good in some of these lower time frames. I don't know, man. I don't know about the Dixie here. Tough to read. I mean, 2-day, this is, especially this trigger wave forming, that could be continuation upward if the S&P 500 keeps coming down. But keep in mind, crypto could be kind of in its own way, and it could theoretically keep pumping while the Dixie comes up, and while traditional markets may have more of a pullback. So we just got to wait and see here. Tough to read on the Dixie, But, you know, just looking at everything else, still kind of bullish on the macro. For, you know, we're looking good. A lot of really good, you know, long opportunities we've had, especially in the Discord. So check it out if you guys are interested. If you guys want a good exchange to trade on, check out FAIRDESK. We do a $100 giveaway every week. MEXC is great as well for some of those smaller cap tokens. Atlanta Core does a lot of good trades with those in the Discord. Check it out. Link down below as well. And also, Zoomex is a really good newer one that CryptoFace recently started using. So that's a good one as well. A lot of people really like the interface too. So yeah, a lot of really good traders use that one. So check those out. All right, guys, have a good night. Goodbye.